What is going on, all my horror hounds, my fiends out there? You are now listening to the Nocturnal Monsters podcast. For some quick introductions, my name is Colby. I am the creator and owner of Nocturnal Creature Club, and we are here with Connor, who is my other co-host. Want to say what's up?
What's up? I'm Connor. I own Monster Man Collectibles and Oddities, make all kinds of animatronics, props, masks. I sell all kinds of Halloween and horror collectibles, vintage stuff, modern stuff. I mean, you name it, we got it on the website. You can find me at monstermancollectibles.com, or you can find me on eBay under Monster Man Collectibles, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, at YouTube, on YouTube as well. This podcast should be up there, so you're probably watching this on YouTube. If not, you're watching it through one of our websites or anything like that. Yeah, ready to go.
Yeah, this is it's our first time trying to record something like this, so give us some time to work out the kinks and the audios. This is the very first episode we're recording. We're just gonna do some chit chatting and rambling about shit that we always talk about. So
Yeah, we might
um,
as well record what we already talk about. This is usually stuff we just talk about on our own, and we figured, might as well record this, see if people
yeah,
are
why
interested
not?
in hearing us talk. So we'll see how it goes.
We might have two people that would like to hear us talk, and it's gonna be ourselves.
That's true. Listening back to this will be very fun.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Everybody loves hearing their voices.
I do especially me.
Um, but yeah, we want to get started. What do we want to talk about first? I mean, we've got four topics we're going to cover today. First one, we're going to talk some Scream 7, give our thoughts on that. We're going to choose our most underrated horror movies of 2025. Just kind of, get a feel for what we thought deserved, a little bit more attention. We're going to look at the Lemax 2026 catalog with their miniatures and their Halloween stuff. And then we're also going to look at the Trick or Treat Studios 2026 catalog, talk about some of their new masks, new props, any of the kind of stuff they're releasing coming in this year. But what do you think we should jump into first? Should we do 7 first? Scream 7?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Let's already annihilate like half of the audience by
Right.
talking about this. Going off on the bat with a home run here, Scream 7. This is what you wanted to talk about, and so I'll let you start off on this, and I'll chime in. So yeah, go ahead.
Yep. So basically the format of our podcast is we're both choosing two topics to talk about, and then we're just kind of split it in half. My two I wanted to talk about were Scream 7 and then the most underrated horror movie, but we're going to start with Scream 7. But I got a bone to pick with this movie, man, because as an avid horror fan and somebody who has watched the Scream movies since I was little, like most fans, um, a lot of the reboot trilogy, or not reboot trilogy, but like the reboot stuff, like I was really, really enjoying and genuinely was super excited for them to continue this franchise. And then after the whole Melissa Barrera thing, like not even in terms of like just her, firing from the movie, but just in terms of where the film looks like it's heading. I'm not very excited. I don't have high standards. I don't personally think it's going to be good. I could be totally and absolutely wrong, but yeah. What are your basic thoughts on Scream 7, just as far as like
Uh,
the terms of like where the movie's headed and stuff like that?
well, all right, let's go. You already kind of did, but I'm gonna start back with Scream 5 and 6 because I think this is really where that starts. Scream 5 to me, I actually really like Scream 5. I should go out and say that just so everybody kind of knows where I'm coming from on this. I love Scream 5. I think it's a really good addition to the franchise, and that's someone that doesn't really care much for the sequels as much as the original. Like I love the first one, obviously. I think as everybody does, it's their favorite. And people really like the sequels 2, 3, and 4. And I was indifferent on them. They didn't really do a lot for me. My favorite part of the Scream franchise is the kind of jabbing at horror, at current horror at the time. Obviously, with Scream 5, or sorry, with the original Scream, it was kind of jabbing at the horror of the late 90s. So we're like Wes Craven's New Nightmare was sitting, where Jason Goes to Hell was sitting, where Michael Myers was sitting at that time, kind of just poking at that, poking at the slashers. They were pretty much dying, and then Scream rebooted them and gave it fresh new life. And the sequels, I think, did a pretty decent job, but I don't think really stuck home that kind of meta talk. Even Scream 4 didn't really do what I wanted it to do. It's not it's not that it's a bad movie. It's pretty good, but it's just, again, it doesn't have that meta humor that I really enjoy from the first movie in it as much. Scream 5 to me felt like the one that really went deep into it, especially with Richie and that kind of Reddit Reddit meta talk,
Yeah.
like all the Reddit stuff. I loved. I already loved Jack Quaid to begin with, so he was already a treat to see on screen. You got your Sydney stuff, you got your David Arquette, you got your Courtney Cox. It felt like a really great return to the franchise, and then 6 really showed, I think, everybody that this franchise can survive without Sydney. And then they fire
Mhm.
Melissa Barrera, and Jenna Ortega doesn't come back. And I don't want to get into the politics of it because I just a little bit. It's a little over my head, and I'm not gonna sit here and go into politics, and I'm not one to say to boycott Scream 7. If you want to watch this, if you're excited for this, I'm not the kind of person that's gonna sit here and be like, well, you can't enjoy this because this, that, and the other. It's not that. It's that the minute that she got fired, it was nothing but damage control for like 2 years. It felt
Mhm.
like every choice made, every action done to this movie, whether it's Kevin Williamson directing, which I don't hate, with Nev Campbell coming back, Courtney Cox coming back, David Arquette coming back, then fucking Roger L. Jackson returning, Matthew Lillard returning, Scott Foley returning, all, and then they just all start saying, "Oh, didn't wasn't Emma, what's her name from Scream 4? Oh God, now I'm blanking at her name. She's rumored to
Emma
return.
something. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
She was
uh,
rumored to be
Madam
coming
Web,
back, and
Aunt May from Madam Web, iconically Aunt May from Madam Web. Yeah,
Jesus.
she's rumored to be in this movie too, and it's like, to me, what that just it smells of desperation. It smells of,
Mhm.
we are trying to get everybody back on this, and it just doesn't. It doesn't make me clap like a seal. I'm sorry, it doesn't. It doesn't interest me. The only thing that may turn me around on this is if it is really about the AI stuff. And this is, we're gonna get into another big problem with Scream 7, is we don't know anything about this movie because there's been no marketing for this movie. 31 days. I'll let you talk here in a second, Colby, but 31 days left until it hits theaters, and no trailer, nothing. I mean, one of the worst posters I've ever seen drops. The IMAX announcement gets released. What else? He's at wrestling. There's some we're putting him in wrestling. Wrestling, really? Real okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, what do you
Ooh,
think about that? Yo, oh, wrestling. Watch out,
shiver me
he
timbers.
might take a takedown on you. He might
No,
RKO
yeah.
you.
It's that's a good segue because one of the plot points I really wanted to hit with this is that the promotion for this movie is absolutely atrocious. I don't have any idea, like you said, 31 days away, and we don't have any idea what this movie's about. We have the general plot line of, oh my god, it's Ghostface coming after Sydney's daughter. Big whoop de fucking do. Sorry, it just feels lazy. And I kind of wrote this in my notes as well, that, and I want to know if you agree on it. But I said that the Scream series has reached its total unlikely meta cycle by becoming the shitty stab movies that take place in the Scream universe. Am I right or wrong on that at this point in time with Scream 7?
If what you're saying is Scream has hit its full creative potential, then yes. I definitely feel like we should be getting a interactive post from the Scream franchise saying that they've hit their full creative potential. Um, I I I agree. I think, and if I were to word it, I would say that Scream has come to the point that the meta-ness doesn't even matter anymore. like the meta aspect of the movies don't even matter anymore because it's just another slasher. What does Scream have to differentiate itself from any other slasher releasing? Well, like Hard Eyes, like Clown on a Cornfield, like Thanksgiving. It feels like that because it's not even commentating on horror, modern horror right now. It's just doing what modern
Yeah.
horror is doing. What like Scream 7 feels like so far, and I mean I could be wrong on this because again I'm only going off of teaser trailers here. I don't have much to work off of, but it feels like Halloween 2018, and it feels like just insert generic revive after here. It feels like the Force Awakens. Like it feels like something like
Ooh,
that, and
sent
it just
shivers down my spine.
yeah, I know, and I'm sure the audience doesn't know my Force Awakens spiel, and I'm not going to get into it, obviously, but we'll mention the Force Awakens here on this podcast, I'm sure, multiple times. um,
Right.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
it just to me this screams of desperation. It screams of the meta is gone. There is no meta anymore. There is no talk of meta. There is no talking about they probably will mention the movies because they have to hit those beats, but it's not that meta aspect that was so prevalent in the first movie feels completely devoid so far in this, and that loses all interest to me. I don't need to see Ghostface or a farm the entire movie. That's like that doesn't carry the movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think we have I I think we reached the pinnacle of just these movies being what they are and what they're offering. It's not enough for me. Just from what I've seen so far. I mean, they're almost kind of like if I was really going to go into it, I would tell you exactly who the killer is right now. I think in Scream 7 because it's honestly kind of pathetically predictable unless they're really just going to go for some super crazy shock value where it's like, oh my god, I had no idea it was them because they weren't anywhere in the movie. And I'm either expecting that or I'm expecting a really pathetically giveaway as to who it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I agree. I'm the thing is I'm interested to see Kevin's direction with it. I want to see what he can specifically do for the franchise as far as going not off of writer style but directing style. Um, so I'm interested to see that if anything, but it's not something that's just like, oh my God, Kevin Williamson directing. Oh my God, I'm gonna splooge everywhere because we've never seen this guy do something Scream direction wise. It doesn't toot my horn, but
Yeah, I would say that's probably the most interesting aspect of this is Kevin Williamson at the director's chair. And I love Kevin Williamson. I'm glad he is directing one of these finally. He definitely deserves it. But it does, yeah, I agree. It's not something that's like, man, I really want to see his take on it. Um, I think he's more so there, and this is super cynical, but I think he's more so there to make people feel comfortable about seeing this movie because, oh, well, it's somebody that knows Scream better than anyone else, so put him in the director's chair. It's sure bound to be a good movie, and it's like, but that doesn't really work. That doesn't really mean that he's gonna be good at directing this movie. I'm sure he's gonna do a good job. I mean, it doesn't like the movie doesn't look bad or anything. All the dialogue that we have heard has not been bad. It's been good so far. It just none of it is grabbing me to this franchise, and it's not nothing that's like, yeah, this movie needed to exist. I think after all of the firing of Melissa Barrera stuff, I mean, I was kind of one of the people that were just like, well, then don't do anything. There's just unless if you're gonna take it in a completely new direction, what is the point of making another movie? What is the point of making another movie when the past two movies have commented on horror at the time, and really horror hasn't changed since those. So what is there to comment on? Now, what I will say, and I know this isn't in our docket, but I do want to mention it briefly, is it's kind of funny that Scream comes out in February, and then in June, Scary Movie 6 releases. And my prediction of this year is that I think Scary Movie is going to topple over Scream 7. I really do. I think Scary Movie 6 is, if done correctly, is probably at least what I've been waiting for, which is really commentating on modern horror. Scary Movie has kind of always been like that, and this is like the perfect time for Scary Movie to come back. It's going to make fun of Scream. Obviously, they're like 100%. They've already confirmed they're bringing back the Ghostface character from Scary Movie. So, what are they gonna do?
Right.
Well, they're gonna comment on all this stuff. Um, I am leaps and bounds more excited for that than this.
Yes, 100,000% agree. For because I remember distinctly like a few years ago, I think we were literally watching the first Scary Movie, and I was like, dude, if they ever decided to bring this back, they have got the best material to ever fucking
Yep.
work with because most of the stuff we see nowadays, whether it's Halloween Ends or the Scream stuff, there's just a slight level of we're doing something different and there's a pretentiousness to it that is going to be so funny when they make fun of because I'm so tired of it. This is
Yep.
why movies like The Monkey comes out and Substance comes out. And while they do, have those kind of similar themes, they genuinely feel like something new and like they're not trying to replicate off of something that's already been done. And also, they're not sequels to stuff. So you have a completely fresh starting ground. And I've been enjoying those horror flicks throughout the year more than I have the sequels because you do end up with stuff like Halloween Ends, where it's your last movie in the franchise, and we're gonna tie up all these stories, and then it's just utterly dog shit, and it's abysmal, and I would never waste the time on it again. I don't want more movies like that, especially pertaining to this one because if you haven't seen the promo for this movie where they copy word for word verbatim the Halloween Ends trailer of it, what does it say? It's something generic like it all comes back to the
Every call,
beginning. Yeah,
every kill has led to this. Yes, and I don't. The thing is, I don't. I was the one that sent you that, and I laugh at it. I still think it's hilarious
it's
that
so funny.
it's so funny. I don't think that that was intentional. What I think that was is corporate like jargon to get you excited for a movie. Nothing more than that, but it is still like the fact that it is copying Halloween Ends, whether you like that or not, like that movie or not, is still concerning. That is definitely not a movie you want any comparisons to right now. Um, I mean that movie is a whole can of worms that maybe we'll get into one day, but it, like I don't know. The promo material that we've gotten so far, it's weird. It's very like the burning down of the house is I guess interesting, but I don't know what that means. I don't know, like
Right,
it doesn't excite me that they're burning the house down. I don't know. I feel like if what I think it is what is something that Scream 6 already did, which is who gives a fuck about the movies. One of my favorite
right,
lines from Scream 6 is that intro where he says who gives a fuck about movies. And that's what this kind of feels like is like, well, who gives a fuck about the lore? I guess that's maybe the angle they're going for out of Spirit, and we're pure tinfoil hat speculating here. But I guess that's kind of what they're going for, that who gives a fuck about the lore, so we're burning it all down. But then
right.
like they're bringing back all these dead characters and past killers, and Matthew Lillard's back and Scott Foley is back. It's just exhausting. It doesn't excite me that Scott Foley is returning into the Scream franchise again. I, I don't care. Like even if I like that character, and I do like Scott Foley, actor and director. Cool, like his character in Scream 3, but I don't need, and I'm pretty sure this is what they're doing, the AI voice. It's just going to be an AI voice. So it's not like you're going to see
Right,
him on,
right,
maybe you will see him on screen. I have no idea, but it's obviously AI. But even so, it's just like, so then we're copying Scream 3, which is weird as well. And I wonder if that,
right.
real quick, I know we probably need to wrap this up here in a minute, but like are they gonna bring back the voice changer from Scream 3? I mean, that would be the no-brainer would be to bring
Yeah.
that back. It might
Like
be
if we're
something
if we're
complete.
gonna if we're gonna go all in meta, like you might as well go all in while you can, while you still have my 25% interest peaked. If you're gonna follow what you did with having Richie be the killer, and then the second one, well, it was the Mrs. Loomis, so it's his mom and dad or whatever. I mean, if they were gonna go that way, that's how it's gonna end up being. But yeah, completely agree.
Also, Mason Gooding and Jasmine Savoy Brown is in this movie too, and like, what are their roles? Like, that's another question I have on my mind. Like, what? It's weird. They fire Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega's not coming back, so half of the core four is gone. And they're gonna bring, and like, I guess you have to bring them back. 'Cause, you're gonna have to explain what happened to them. Like, they're not gonna
Right.
just bring Mason Gooding and Jasmine back and not explain where Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega are gonna be. Maybe they'll do what they did in Scream 6 with Sydney, where Courtney's like, oh well, her and the kids are safe. Her and the husband and the kids are safe. They lock themselves in their little bunker. Maybe that's what they
But
say,
they're gonna
and
have
I
they're
just
gonna have
don't.
to do something. They're gonna have to do something so concrete, unless they really do try and plan on getting her back.
I don't know if they are.
I don't know if I don't know if you've seen it, but somebody did the I can't ever remember like their character names or whatever, but it says blah blah will not return and whatever like the end of Marvel movies, and it's like yeah, I can see that happening honestly.
Yeah, I don't see her returning. I really don't. I think I don't, as much as I really want her back, and I really want her plot line to return, and that what they were setting up in 5 and 6. I really wanted to see that kind of go, but I think like now bringing her back makes no sense. It
Yeah.
and like I don't putting my corporate hat on. I don't know what they would gain from bringing her back, because let's be honest, I think a lot of us fans are a vocal minority right now. I think that there's a lot of people that are very excited for Scream 7, and then there's nothing wrong with that, but I think that like bringing her back wouldn't really bring back as many fans as we would think. That I don't think there's a
Right.
lot, if anybody, boycotting this movie anymore. So I don't know. I just don't see them bringing her back. It maybe for like a Stranger Things 9 or Stranger Things 5 type of way, where they bring her back in a random movie and
Yeah.
she's got her head shaved or something. I don't know, but like I don't see how they're gonna bring her back for any movie, and let alone have her lead another movie. I severely doubt she'll ever lead another Scream
Right.
movie, unless Nev Campbell comes out and is like, I'm done. Um,
What she
so
won't, because them bills gotta
no,
be paid, baby.
oh yeah, one and Sydney Prescott is a very very deep character. There's so much you could go into Sydney Prescott's character. I mean, just so
Oh, for
much.
sure.
She's Final Girl. That's
Yeah, she is. We
7 movies
totally didn't
later,
run out of
and she's still
story
Final
after
Girl.
4.
She's got a dead
We
mother.
totally didn't run out of ideas after Scream 4, considering that we didn't have her back in the other two. But it's fine. It's whatever. She's back. Final girl,
She's
baby.
back. I'm so glad she's back. I'm so glad she's finally back after 4 years of not playing the character. She has returned as Sydney Prescott. Thank God. Thank God. I don't know how this franchise would survive without her. But yeah, that's all I got really to say on that right now. I don't know if there's anything
Yep,
you want to
same
end
for me.
off here.
Nope, just that yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
We're still
I'm at
watching it.
least
We will still watch it
25%
and review it.
interested. Yes, we will still watch it and talk
In
about it.
IMAX. In
Um,
IMAX. And I'll be honest, I know you're like,
we'll see about that.
yeah, yeah, you're kind of not wanting to do it, but I think for me that's the most interesting thing is that this is the first one in IMAX, and that's why I want to see it in IMAX. I don't know. I'm excited to watch that in IMAX. I know you're like, you're gonna spend the money. You're gonna spend the $8 to go watch it in IMAX. We've got those like read
Uh,
unlimited things. We don't even pay $20. We pay 8. We'll go watch it in IMAX, and that's like just a fun experience. It's just a fun movie
I,
theater experience, and that's
thing is,
saying something
me
coming from me
is that
right now.
but yeah, that just wraps up my thoughts on Scream 7 in terms of uh if this movie will be worth it or not. Who knows? We're gonna have to wait and see. But as far as right now, I'm pretty on the fence if this is gonna be something I rush out and watch opening weekend. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, we can segment over if you're ready to switch.
Yeah, let's go ahead and let's do TOTS. Let's do Trick or Treat Studios catalog
Okay.
here. Um,
Let's do it.
So yeah, I guess we should explain a little bit in this podcast. Our goal here is to have a good mixture of horror and Halloween talk. So you might get a lot of different podcasts out there that talk horror stuff, and it's mostly horror. But here you're gonna get a little bit of mix of the Halloween stuff. And one of those things is Trick or Treat Studios. Every January they release their 2026 catalog. So they drop this every year. There's always new stuff to look at, new masks, new animatronics. Well, usually new animatronics. This year we were devoid of such things, which I'll probably mention here in a little bit. But masks, toys, puzzles, bags. I mean, air fresheners, you name it. This place has got it. If you haven't heard of them, they're the biggest horror Halloween mask making company out there right now. That makes all the wonderful licensed Michael Myers, Texas Chainsaw masks. They used to do big Chucky dolls. Used to have those. So yeah, we're just gonna go through this catalog, and we're not gonna talk through every single thing here. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of go through some of the new stuff, and this is more my wheelhouse than it is Colby. But I had him do a little research so he could talk a little bit about some of this stuff and kind of give his commentary on. So yeah, let's start with the Hellraiser stuff because that's the first thing you see on the catalog here. Colby, do you wanna add anything here before I go into this?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, just to preface, like you said, I'm not big on the buying and the collecting of the masks, but I definitely do have the appreciation for the detail. I love Trick or Treat Studios. I bought stuff from them before. Um, but yeah, I'm not the one to kind of go out and get them anymore, just space wise. I just don't have, the availability for it. But like I said, I appreciate the art form. I think these masks are all awesome. I have read through the catalog, picked out some stuff that I really liked. But yeah, this first page, the Hellraiser stuff looks awesome. I love the Chatterer. I love the retro mask. I love the configuration box. Like all this stuff looks awesome. Um, Butterball looks good. This is good stuff. This is really good, especially for cosplayers, especially that Chatterer. Like I love the detail within, his
Yeah.
teeth. Obviously, is the most important part of that design, but that looks awesome.
Yeah. This is just to give a history, this is not the first time Hellraiser masks have ever been made. Ruby's at one point had the license. Ghoulish Productions, to my knowledge, still has a license and still makes the pinhead masks. And a long time ago, and I don't even remember who made it, there was a Butterball mask floating around. So this is actually not the first time Butterball's ever been made, but to my knowledge, this is the first time Chatterer has ever been made into a mask, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It looks great in the catalog, and there have been pictures in person of all these masks, and they look wonderful. The Chatterer is probably my favorite of these. Pinhead looks amazing too. A more mild-mannered looking Pinhead than Ghoulish, which has a more angrier expression on his face. The nails look really good too. Definitely a step up from the plastic ones that you get from like a Ruby's mask or a Ghoulish mask. Lament configuration has actually been something that they've had for years now. It just moved over to the Clive Barker Hellraiser film collection. Um, and last thing I want to talk about on this is the retro pinhead mask. There is a bunch of new retro masks that are in style of Ben Cooper. They feel a lot like what NECA is doing with their Ben Cooper costumes. These feel like big versions of those, which is really fun. I don't know if any have like if there is like the NECA Ben Cooper figure and a mask of the same character. I don't know yet. I'd have to like cross examine that because I don't think they've
Mm.
made a Pinhead yet. But yeah, no, I love these masks, these retro masks, and they're gonna be at a pretty good price too. I think the Pinhead retro masks will be selling between 24 and 29.99 at retailers. So really good price for that. Can't wait to see that one in person.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go through like the Michael Myers stuff. There really isn't anything new here with Michael Myers. I will mention last year there was supposed to be the Michael Myers animatronic that got canceled due to the tariff stuff, and it has not returned this year at all. I don't know if that's coming back, which is a shame because I think Trick or Treat Studios was on the path to making animatronics, and I would have loved that. There needs to be more competition in the animatronic market right now, especially for licensed characters. Very, very few companies are making legitimately good licensed characters now in animatronic form. So for Trick or Treat Studios to kind of bring in their quality with an animatronic, like that Michael Myers one, which if you don't know, the arm moved up and down, the head turned, and it played the Halloween music, which is something a Michael Myers animatronic has not done since 2011. So it was kind of a big deal, and then it just, yeah, we haven't heard anything from it. It's definitely not coming out this year. Maybe next year. If you don't see it next year, though, I think it just is completely gone, which is a shame. So yeah, hoping that comes back. But other than that, nothing new with the Michael Myers stuff. Um, I don't think we really need to talk about this because we kind of already talked about the retro masks. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre is getting retro mask as well as these little candy pails, which are fun.
Yeah,
Um,
that candy pail is awesome. That
the
was one of
can
the ones that I noted. That was like, yeah, that caught my eye. That's something that if I saw it, I'm pretty sure I would probably buy it just to have it.
Yeah, yeah. 34.99 for those. So very, very cheap. These are very nice too. This is not the first time they've made those candy pails. At one point there was a Jaws and a Universal Monsters Frankenstein one in the
Mhm.
works before they lost the Universal license. There are images of those floating around. What a crime. Those
What a
didn't ever
yeah, I
come
was like,
out.
what a shame. A Jaws one
Yeah.
would go so
Uh,
crazy.
I've actually held the Halloween pumpkin candy pail, and I mean, it's really nice quality. So if it's anything like that, which I'm sure it is, expect great things from these candy pails. One real quick thing I want to talk about here is that someone has finally made the Leatherface bracelet and especially the Leatherface tie,
Yes.
for cosplay use. This has been something that has been extremely hard for people to find. This tie, the shape of this tie, because it's so weirdly shaped, with that little weird print on it. Um, People have been making those ties for their cosplays. Well, now you don't have to. Trick or Treat Studios is coming out with a tie and a bracelet. This is just a great thing for cosplayers. I'm sure they're over the moon about this. So yeah, get your Leatherface tie and bracelet at Trick or Treat Studios. Oh, there's also one for two, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I should mention that too. Forgot about that. Yeah, that's great too. So
Yeah, love
glad.
that. Love that tie from two. That one is awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Pin that sucker up on the wall.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, 100%. Do you want to talk about the Terrifier stuff here? The new Terrifier stuff?
I'll be honest, nothing really blew me away. I think the sculpts are cool. I really like the one that's just called Victoria. I think that one's a little bit more believable than the one where she has the art face paint on. Um, but nothing. I mean, nothing really super blew me away about this stuff. I like the Santa one. That one's really cool. I like the pail. Do I think I'll consider buying any of that? Most likely not. But yeah, I mean, it looks all good. Nothing
Yeah.
to complain about, really.
As a mask person myself, the Tinsley transfers versions of the
Mm-hmm.
Terrifier masks to me are way better. They also used them in Halloween Horror Nights last year for the maze. So if they're Halloween Horror Nights quality, to me that like kind of just screams what these are. Now these are kind of different because it looks to me that they are done making latex Art the Clown masks. These are all the injection mold. Every single one of these masks you're looking at is injection mold, so they're hard plastic, which is good because they are cheaper. These sit around 50 bucks,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice. These Victorias, though, I was looking. I don't know if these are injection mold or not, but these were sitting pretty steep. So these might actually be latex. And Tinsley Transfers is also making Victoria masks, and I think they look a lot better. They also come with the necks too, which is kind of nice. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of pick your poison on for Terrifier. The pail is cool. The pail looks great. But yeah, it's like if you want the hard plastic face, then I would go for these. But if you want true latex, I'd say that Tinsley has the better looking Art the Clowns right now. You might be
Yep.
paying a little bit more, but I think they're way more worth it.
All right.
Okay, I'm
I
just gonna say.
do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wait, you go first.
you go ahead. You go ahead
Okay,
first. Go ahead.
real quick, because I know what you're gonna talk about here, but I just want to say I love the Cheech and Chong masks. I love
I
them
was
so
totally
much.
going to agree. Those look absolutely amazing. Those are super, super sick.
They're
Um,
so
I
good.
I do want to talk about the TMNT stuff
Yep.
because as a TMNT guy, I feel like it's my right. I'm a
Yep.
big live action and cartoon guy for those movies and shows and comic books. I'll be honest, the four turtles don't really do anything for me. Um, the shading looks okay, but the real winner to me on that page is the Krang and the Foot Soldier. That
Yep.
Foot Soldier sculpt, which is the one that they use obviously like in the comics and more in the cartoon, the sculpting around those eyes and the mouth and the nose is something that I have always loved, especially like with figures and stuff like that. Is the Foot Soldier is like it's such a classic henchman design, but obviously like Team and T style. So the fact that they sculpted all of that line work in there with his eyes and like the nose wrinkles, I absolutely love. Like that is one that I would see and potentially buy. Like that sculpt is
Mm.
awesome for a foot soldier. It could have been really lazy and not have half as much sculpting around the nose or just like around the eyes, but I think they did a killer job with that. And the same with the Krang. That Krang looks freaking amazing. I mean that screams like realism cartoon to me. Like if he was to jump off the screen, that's what he would look like.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really know what's going on with the eyes. The last time we saw these masks, they had the white eyes. It looks like they've got the weird white netting on them, so I don't know if it's just like the pictures doing it or this. These are obviously prototypes, so they're not production yet. Um, yeah, we'll just have to wait to see like what they look like in hand. Like somebody have these in hand. I'm hoping they kind of fix that with the eyes, because yeah, the eyes look get really strange.
Yeah,
And if
that
we're
was
going
my
with
biggest turn off with those.
yeah, and the retro ones look good too. They look more like like these remind me of like the cereal box TMNT turtles. I don't know
Mhm.
why. They're good. Like I'm not a big turtle guy, so I'm not like I don't really have much to say on these. They look good though. I would say I like these more than the regular masks.
Yes, I would wholeheartedly agree. I think if the other ones just even had some, black and white, kind of cell shading on that top of that mesh or the eyepiece, I think I'd be way more convinced with something like that.
Yeah.
Like I think a good middle ground between the retro ones and then those hyper realistic ones would be like absolutely perfect. Like probably something I would consider buying.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Do we want to talk about the Fallout stuff? I don't really have anything on this, to be honest. It's all good.
Nothing. Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Well,
it's good. Nothing too much for me. It's pretty cool stuff, but
yeah, there's that retro ghoul mask, so they're keeping the
I
line with the
will say
retro
I
stuff.
do like that the retro ghoul and all the vault tech stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah, the Vault-Tec signage is pretty great. Um, let's see. Oh, you want to talk about the RoboCop stuff?
Yeah, sure. As far as the RoboCop stuff, I'm also a big RoboCop guy. None of these really blew me away, if I'm being quite honest. I really like Robo's face, um, but I something's just off about I think with the skin tone with the other one. What I think they were going for is like that like nasty kind of gritty skin tone, grayish wash, but it's not super convincing to me. I think it still just kind of looks a little too rubbery or a little too, latex or plasticky. That's just my opinion on it. Um, what are your thoughts on those two RoboCops?
Uh, I hate saying I'm disappointed in these, because I haven't even told you this, but the deluxe RoboCop on the side is not a full helmet. It is half a mask, which is shocking.
Oh wow.
I don't know why that is, because usually the deluxe masks are full head. Um, this is only half a head, and that really it really hurts this for me, this piece for me. It looks great. Um, eh, but the fact that it's half a head is yeah, that I put through this on an order and I took it right off when I figured that out because I just don't see the reason for
Yeah.
having it. The retro RoboCop is great. Um, really cool. The sign is great. Um, the other mask is fine, but I didn't need it. I wanted a legit
Right.
RoboCop mask. I didn't. So the fact that we don't even have that, to me, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm just kind of just not interested anymore in the whole set, because I think everything else is good, but nothing that like wows me. I really needed that RoboCop mask to wow me, and it didn't. It disappointed me. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, kind of disappointed in that, to be honest. We'll skip ahead here. Oh, okay, I do want to talk about this real quick. The Slappy the Dummy, and this is not something that we didn't know about already. Actually, this was something that they announced back in July or August of last year.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is, I mean, a dream come true. I'm a huge Slappy the Doll fan, huge Goosebumps guy to begin with, but I'm especially Slappy the Doll, Slappy the Dummy. I keep saying doll, Slappy the Dummy. Huge fan of him, and like the glow in the dark eyes, the moving mouth, the turning head, posable, interchangeable. Like it is everything I wanted it to be, and more, because I didn't even expect glowing in the dark eyes. But we got that. It looks straight off of the cover. It is absolutely wonderful, and I already have one on order for me, so I cannot wait for this to come in. I had to. This thing is just unbelievably cool.
Yeah.
I know you're
Yeah.
not a big Goosebumps guy, but what are your thoughts?
No, I am. I am in terms of like the show stuff. Like yeah, I've read the books. But as far as like childhood wise, like the show is really what solidified it with me. But yeah, that dummy, they're the yeah, Slappy the Dummy. That one looks awesome. Love that. I love the past stuff they did, especially the haunted mask stuff. Both the book version and the show version, all that stuff was great. I do
And
want to talk
vinyl.
about the Horrorland because or the
Oh
Horrorland
yes,
sign because I
yes,
do love that. I think that is awesome, but also I think it depends on the scale of it because that sign, when you're little and reading that book or you're getting ready to watch that episode and you see that, that thing is massive. So to me, it almost would kind of feel like a disservice to have it be like incredibly small or like 11 by 17 or however big it is. So I feel like if that had to be made and for me to, want to invest in that, it would have to be big. Like I would want it to like not like so big that it can't fit on the wall, but like big enough that it's like, okay, if you saw that, that would mean you're at Horrorland, and that sign is
yeah,
pretty big on the big, so pretty big on the book. So it just depends in terms of how big that thing actually is. I really want to see that in hand though, because if it's a good decent size, I think I'd probably end up getting it and displaying my books in front of it. But yeah,
yeah. I don't know how big that Horrorland sign is, but if it's like any of the other wooden signs, like I own the Tromaville sign, and that's not super big. I'm imagining it's gonna be around that size, which is not super
hmm,
huge. So don't
right,
expect anything big. But I like it a lot. I didn't order it because I'm kind of the same way. I also don't need any more signage. I actually
yeah,
really like
yeah,
the Beware, you're in for a scare sign too. That really feels like scholastic book fair vibes that I get from
hmm,
that sign down there. Love it. But yeah, and I love all the masks too. I should go ahead and mention that all these masks are wonderful. The Slappy, the Mud Monster Mummy, Haunted Mask, and Curly, they're all vinyl, wonderful masks. Yeah, we'll see on that Horrorland side. But let's keep on going here, going through here. Real quick mention Goonies One-Eyed Willy mask. I don't know if you had
yeah,
anything written down for that, but very happy that's coming out. Um, I'm not really a Mortal Kombat person, so I mean I get the excitement that people might have for these masks, these new Mortal Kombat masks, but I have nothing
yeah,
to say on them.
yeah. Same for me. I'm a Mortal Kombat guy, so like having the different colors is cool, but it's nothing that like screams, "Oh my god, I need to buy this like right now." You know.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
completely agree.
I do want to talk about this page because I have something very specific I need
Well,
to
hold on.
say.
Okay, hold on. We should just tell the audience what page we're on. We're on the Toxic Avenger and the Crow and Clown in a Cornfield page, and I'm not really sure what he's getting ready to talk about here.
Okay, this wristband, nobody is buying that. Who is buying this? This
I
is
don't even.
this is Ollie's discount bin shit. Like I'm sorry, who liked this movie enough to go out and buy that? Who?
Uh, I
Who?
I don't. My okay. So I kind of just skimmed over it, to be honest with you. And I should say, between the two of us here, I'm the biggest Toxic Avenger fan. I love this movie. I just told you I had a Tromaville sign. Um, I love Toxic Avenger, and yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand what it like why they made it. I don't know if like maybe it was like a promotional material thing that they just have extras for because I don't even like did he wear it in the movie? I don't think he even had like this wristband in the movie. So I don't even know where it came from or why they
I,
made it. They and the other thing is they don't make wristbands. I should mention that really quick.
yeah.
They don't make like this stuff. So like it's weird that it's being made to begin with. I don't really understand it, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Is that I do remember him having like, like some kind of studded wristband, and it was just something he had on throughout the movie. But I mean, is it really noticeable enough to make a product out of it? Like, let's just be real. But yeah, it could have
Over
been
the
one of those things, like
broom.
you said,
Over
where
y-
they were tied into some kind of contract where they had to release something else Toxie related for the movie, for the new one at least.
There's like a movie promotional material because like okay, here's the thing. If they're gonna do something from Toxic Avenger, the new movie, why not do the mop? The glowing green mop? That would have
Hmm.
made more sense, and I think that probably actually would have sold good, even if it was from the new movie. That would go great with like any Toxic Avenger collection, and it's probably something people really want. A wristband is weird. Is a weird choice for like. There's so many other things that they could have made from the Toxic Avenger. So the fact that they made a wristband I don't know, makes or even if you're gonna make another make another mask, like make Elijah Wood's character from Toxic Avenger. Like I would have preferred that to be honest.
Right.
Because I mean I'd want an Elijah Wood mask, like
Hmm.
I don't know, just like something weird. This is a weird choice. I agree. Um, we're already on this page. I'll just say it really quickly. I'm glad there's a friendo mask. That's kind of cool, I guess. It's pretty neat.
Buddy, who's buying that?
I, there's one horror fan. There's one horror fan that's sitting out there like, yeah, let's fucking go.
I will
Let's
admit that
fucking
it is a
go.
cool mask. Like, if I would have enjoyed the movie more, I would probably be more inclined to buy that. It does have good sculpting. The hair looks really freaking
Yeah, I
cool. I
mean,
like the little hat. It's a good piece, but it's not something that I'd be
I'm
buying for
glad they
myself.
made it. I'm glad they made it. That was a smaller horror film, so you threw a guy a bone. I mean, I appreciate for what it is. I just, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that franchise and will not really buy it. But it is like it's nice that it exists. I can't
Yeah.
complain
Yep.
about that.
Agreed.
Oh, I went too fast. There's any? No, I didn't. No, nothing on this page. Skim, skim, skim. I don't really want to talk about that stuff. I don't really want to talk about the Sleepy Hollow stuff unless you want to say something about it. Um, Army of
I
Darkness has already been
do.
out. Oh,
I would say I do want to ask your opinion on the Ash Mask. Is that something new for Army of Darkness, or has that already been revealed?
that has been revealed for over a year. I have been eagerly awaiting for this mask to hit shelves. I don't really know why it got pushed to this year. I think maybe because the one that this is definitely a different one, and it doesn't. It looks good. It doesn't look as good as it did before, and
Hmm.
uh, I have been told with the Beetlejuice mask, the Beetlejuice injection mask, that it because it also had gotten delayed a year too. And the reason it got delayed was because it resembled Michael Keaton so much that they had to change it. I'm not even kidding. That
Holy
is
shit.
something that has come from the mouths of Trick or Treat Studios.
Mm.
And so I'm wondering if that's what happened to this too, which kind of sucks because I really wanted a really nice looking Ash mask. This is like a dream come true. We are now one step closer to an Ash Williams animatronic. This is something I've been saying for years that it's bound to happen, and we're getting closer. This is another little piece of that puzzle getting solved with this mask. I mean, it still looks great. It'll look better in person. Usually the fuel injections kind of look weird from these production photos, but once you get them in your hands, I mean, they're wonderful. So yeah, no complaints. The other Army of Darkness masks I have seen in person, and they are wonderful masks and pretty decently priced too. They're not too expensive. I've asked them why Evil Ash doesn't have the helmet, and they couldn't give me an answer on that. Um, they didn't even know. Like I don't know. Like I said, I've asked them, and they kind of just didn't know what I was talking about. And it is weird to me that he doesn't have the helmet. He needs the
Right.
helmet.
Yeah.
He never takes it off, so it's kind of, I don't know. It is weird that it doesn't come with the helmet, and that's kind of what sets it back just a little bit for me. Is like, man, I really wish it had the helmet. I hope maybe they're just doing it as an accessory eventually. I don't know. I don't know that much, but
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this Ash one comes out. I've got it on order too, so I'll see it in person here eventually when it shows up. Um, Leprechaun. Leprechaun's getting a mask.
Dude,
Little
that one
shit.
looks awesome. I don't even think
Beautiful.
I remember seeing that when I was scrolling past, but that's a really, really good detailed mask.
Right next to Chud.
Right next to Chud. Yeah, the Chud one's super sick too. I've never seen the Gate, so I won't be able to speak on that one, but I really like
Everybody,
that
I know
mask.
everybody been saying I need to watch The Gate, so I gotta put that on the list. But I love the Leprechaun. The Chud looks great too, but the Leprechaun is
Yeah.
very exciting. Very, very exciting. Again, the no hat, I don't understand it. It is frustrating because, like, as somebody that would display this kind of stuff, you want them to wear their hats that they iconically wear. And the fact
Right.
that he doesn't
Yeah.
have it and they don't make an accessory, like, because I get, like, okay, creeper, and then you have the creeper hat. It's like, okay, but they don't do that with these new ones, and I don't understand it. Um,
Right.
so I don't know, but I'm still excited. Like I said, still excited for it. Um, I mean, I'll just briefly mention Iron Maiden's getting new masks. They look wonderful.
Yep.
Motorhead's also getting a new mask. Looks wonderful. Ghost, I do want to talk about this really quick. Ghost is getting the Papa 5 version, which is his newest look that he debuted last year. Cannot wait for this. This was a no-brainer. Um, so glad this is finally coming out. Papa 4 has been in the works for God knows how long too, so that's good to see that finally kind of coming out. I don't know why it took so long,
Hmm.
but the new
Yeah.
Papa 5
Sick.
mask is cannot wait for it. Gonna be really good price too. Anything you want to talk about in the House of the Thousand Corpses section?
Yes, I actually do.
Okay.
Really quick, the chicken bucket. I mean, come on.
And
Come on.
that's
Imagine you're sitting down to watch House of a Thousand Corpses, and you got some KFC fried chicken just busting out in that baby. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But
that is, yeah.
yeah, I really like that bucket. That bucket is super sick. It's not something that I would like keep out on display, I don't think per se, but it is something I would put with my popcorn buckets and just kind of have it whenever I want to watch something Rob Zombie. But yeah,
You
I thought that was pretty cool. Whenever I
you
want to,
willingly
let me rephrase that. Whenever I want to listen to some Rob Zombie.
I'm gonna say, watch some Rob Zombie. You're gonna willingly subject yourself to that? Good luck. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Wow. I couldn't do that. I'm a big Rob Zombie fan, but wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go through the. I mean, listen, I love Dom Post, but there really isn't anything new here to talk about Dom
Yeah.
Post. Why? Same with Elusive. Um, get past this. This is kind of the stuff we can really start skipping past. Oh yes, yes. Okay, let's talk about this Beetlejuice figure, this
All right.
statue. Wow, how wonderful does this look? I mean, this is unbelievable. We are finally, another company is taking a jab at these statue figures that cost over $1,000, and again, rightfully so. But people like me that cannot get into that market has a chance with these statues because they look just as good, if not better, and they are a third or fourth of the price that these
Mhm.
$1,000 statues are. And they're just as big. They look wonderful. That Reagan is unbelievable. I have seen it before. It's unbelievable. I cannot
Yeah.
wait to see this Beetlejuice. I don't have one of these on order, but when I see it in person, that might change my mind. So yeah, so
Yeah.
happy about this.
I
So
dig it.
happy. Um, just let me know if there's anything you see. Do you want to talk about the
Yes.
Micromaniacs?
Yes.
Okay.
So the Micromaniacs, extremely cool concept. I like it. I like, the design with Michael and Lori and Loomis in there. This does feel like something I would buy and then quickly regret buying it because I have nothing to do with it. Um, you know, it'd be a cool piece to set up and flip out or, have on the go, but yeah, it just doesn't feel like a piece that sticks out to me that well. I'll jump right over to that giant size. Uh, what's his name? We'll talk
Holding?
about the art too, because yeah, Captain Spaulding. Because I do like these figures, but there's another issue I have if we want to skip over to the next couple pages. I
Yeah.
think they'll be on
Yeah,
those
yeah.
as well. Um, where are the
Y
new 1/6 scale stuff? Where? I have a
Yeah,
feeling they exalted all of their energy into those micromaniacs and also into the statues that they completely left off of not making any 1/6 scale figures.
figures.
And that
There's
to
no
me
new
is
ones
like
this year.
it's the driest market ever in terms of horror because there's so few and far between figures. I have the Bloodied Michael from the first Halloween, and I also have the Terrifier from the first movie. And these are other ones that I want to eventually get, but there's nothing that's like screaming, "Oh my God, I need these!" or a new figure that's coming out. Especially when you've got licenses like Silent Night, Deadly Night, and I would kill for a Billy Chapman 1/6 scale figure of him in the Santa costume or bloody all up with the bow and
Yeah.
arrow. I mean, it's a no-brainer, but it's not being made, so that's kind of confusing to me personally.
And if I might be able to shed the tiniest sliver of light, and I don't know anything, I'm going to say that right now, but what I do know is that a lot of the 1/6 scale figures are not being produced anymore, such as Halloween 4, 5, 6, H2O, 2018 kills, um, and I think the Hammer Horror ones also got axed too. They are on closeout right now, so they are discounting those on their website. You can check that out right now, and you can
Mm,
see that for yourself. I think the reason that there's no more 1/6 scale figures is because they're done. I don't think they're doing those anymore, which is a huge shame. I don't understand why they didn't like if they didn't sell good. I don't really know why they didn't. I think they may have made too many. Um, the big elephant in the room right now with these 1/6 scales is there is no original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Killing
mhm.
Leatherface, or Pretty Woman, and that is it's just it's ridiculous to me. Like that is the one I think everybody wanted, and I don't see it happening now. It would have happened within either this year or last year, and it still hasn't happened. Yeah, I hate to say it, but don't expect anymore. I think they're done. I think this is what you're getting. There may be a sliver of hope that we get the Leatherface, but I severely doubt it. Which is strange because Trick or Treat Studios is known as the mask company, but they are more now the toy company. And we'll get into this here in a little bit, but at the end of this catalog, there is an advertisement for them showing up at Toy Fair. So there might be even more Toy Fair stuff, and there might be the 1/6 scale figures there. Who have I don't
Mm,
know.
yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It is shocking. I noticed that there was no 1/6 scale figures. They are continuing, however, this is a good segue into the Scream Greats line, the 8-inch scales. Personally,
Yeah.
these don't do a lot for me. They look great. I don't like the limited articulation that you get with these, with the price of NECA being so close to these. It's hard for me to get into these and I know honestly I'm out of NECA too. I don't really get the NECA figures anymore anyways, but it's hard for me to go to these, especially I don't like the fact that they are 1 inch bigger. The scaling is really off. You can't really put these next to your NECAs, which is annoying. I find that really annoying because I would like where would I wouldn't put these on their own shelf. I'd put them next to my NECA figures and they would be
Right.
considerably taller. So,
Yeah. I agree. As far as the 1/6 stuff, it's such a bummer too because as like I just said, I have those two figures and they are awesome. And also they are like the perfect segue for somebody who is into horror and wants to collect bigger stuff because they are like a half of the price cheaper than say like a Sideshow Collectibles or like a Red Man Toys. Like they are, 125 to 150 bucks. That's a good price for a really detailed 1/6 scale figure. So that's a bummer. That they're not doing those or have the licenses anymore. And I'm just not a fan of the because Sideshow does have a Leatherface from the first movie, and it just does
yep,
not scream
look,
Leatherface to me. Every time I see it, it's
no.
just not. It's not dirty enough. It feels too clean. He looks a little too slim. Like it's just a plethora of issues with it. Of reasons I wouldn't go to it at first, unless it's like my absolute complete last option. I'm like 90 years old, and there's still not been another Leatherface 1/6 scale
I
made.
guess I'm buying it. I guess I'm spending the
Yeah, I
money.
guess I'm getting it. Might as well. But yeah, as far as that, it's a little bit of a bummer. But yeah, the screen great stuff is cool. I think I'm in the same boat with you. It just reminds me so much of early, McFarlane movie Maniac days, which are great, and there's good figures out of those lines. But with your limited articulation, you will get tired of seeing that figure in the same exact pose your entire time you have these figures. Like it is a real stale feeling,
You
as
really
an
can't do
avid
much with these.
collector. Yeah, it's the stiffness is really hard to work around. Because
Yeah.
it, like I said, early McFarlane days, he was really big on the fact that you can't have super detailed stuff and have good articulation, so you have to make a break on one of them. And it's clear that they're going with detail, which is cool. We have
Mhm.
stuff like NECA Michael Myers, so it's not like a make or break thing where there isn't other things out there that exist like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not disappointed. I just don't ever see me purchasing these. We'll kind of skip over these. They also got the RoboCop ones.
Hmm.
Yeah, like cool. Same with these 5-inch figure assortments. I mean, they're fine. They're just, I don't know. These just don't do anything for me. These sort of fall into the category of, and this is something we've talked about off screen so many times. The it looks bad on purpose kind of figure.
Hmm.
The reaction figures come to mind when I say this. That just doesn't do anything for me personally. I'm not a huge fan. Sometimes it works, but I like my figures detailed and articulated. And when I see these like kind of cheapo, reaction figures, or they're meant to look bad, that you're supposed to like look like the Kenner toys from the '80s, and it's like, yeah, that's cool. It's like a novelty though. It's not like a
Right.
that doesn't excite me. It's like, I don't know. It's like, oh yeah, I guess that's cool to look at. I get, but I
Yeah.
don't want it. I wouldn't
It
spend money on it.
Yeah, nothing for both of us. Like we said, it boils down to the price point of these. Like if I see a Leatherface for $5 to $10, and it's a reaction style, low costed, low produced, you know,
Figure.
I guess the word I'm looking for, yeah, the figure wise, but just like in terms of how much material it costs to make these figures, I mean, they're making it for dirt cheap, and
Yeah.
then they're turning around and trying to sell them for $20 to $30. That's not going to happen. I can't justify that, and I won't. Even stuff like the Terrifier 2 ones that we're looking at right now. I love that Sienna one. It's awesome. I would love to have a Sienna, old school style figure. Reminds you of something that somebody would have bought in the '80s if the movie would have came out. That's awesome. I'm not paying $20 for it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I can't justify it. I can't justify that. If it
Yeah.
was 5 to 10, yeah, absolutely, bring it on home, John B. But it's just like
Eh,
I'm not
I'm not
doing that.
interested. I agree.
Yeah,
I completely agree. There's not much left here to talk about. I don't. I mean, I'm excited for these cutouts, but I don't really need to say anything on them other than they're coming out. We got Gremlins, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Terrifier, Saw. These look great. Cannot wait to
yeah.
get them. But
The
they're
Silent Night,
yeah.
Deadly Night ones will be coming home with moi.
Eh.
I'm more than ready for those.
I know
But
you've
yeah,
been waiting
dude.
for those. You've been waiting for a year. Gremlins for me is the big one here, the big winner. Very
Yeah,
excited for that. Saw again, Toxic Avenger, which is already out. But yeah, these are great. Just nothing really I need to say on them. For me, kind of lackluster this year. Kind of most of the stuff here was stuff that we knew about that was coming out for a year. Maybe we're seeing it for the first time, like Leprechaun, like RoboCop, like Hellraiser, but we didn't know about this since January of last year.
right.
So take that as you will. For me, was kind of disappointed in this. The big one was no Michael Myers animatronic. That was an avenue I was praying they were going to get into, and it doesn't look like they are anytime soon. So, yep, that's all I
Yep.
got to say about that. Do you want to switch over to your next topic?
Yeah. We'll try to do this one fairly fast just because we're getting up there in some minutes. But in terms of most underrated horror movie of 2025, I will start. I'm gonna do a top three, and then my number one is gonna be what I think was the most underrated. Um, but yeah, I think I'll start off with number three. If it's, I consider it horror because it's got the elements. It's also sci-fi. Companion. I don't think that movie
Oh,
got nearly enough credit. It was insanely good. I enjoyed watching that movie. It's one of those where I don't think I'll watch it that often because I genuinely think it was so good on its own that it's one of those I can just revisit every few years and be like, damn, that's a really good, solid movie. What's your number three spot if you
I
have one,
would
or if you just have a one?
I have a 1, but I'll just comment on because I didn't know we were doing top 3, but I do have 1. I have my number 1, we'll get to that after yours. But I do wanna talk about Companion because I love Companion too. I mean, I just got it on 4K, so I'm getting ready to throw that bad boy in here shortly in the
Mm-hmm.
next I like watching that one in February. That's a good February movie to put on. I don't know why, it just kinda gives those vibes off, but I
Yeah,
loved Companion. It was such a strong movie for me. The acting is unbelievable in that movie. The twist in the film is predictable, but it does keep you engaged. It is a movie that keeps you engaged through the entire film, and you're not like getting bored. You're like the plot isn't dragging on. It is got a great cast. Guillermo from What We Do in the Shadows is in it, so I can't complain too much about the movie. My boy's in it. Um, but
mm-hmm.
yeah, no, I love Companion. Absolutely love it.
Yeah,
So
heard,
it
heard.
needs more love. Needs more love.
All right. So as far as number, two and one, I'll skip by my number two and just say what it is. For me, I talked about it so much. It was my favorite movie of 2020. Yeah, 2025 until it got kind of dethroned towards the later part of the year with Black Phone 2. That ended up being my favorite. But
The goat.
Monkey
Oh,
Man, I
dude.
don't think it got enough attention. I truly believe that this was one
It
that
did. It just people
people.
didn't like it. People didn't like that movie, which is a shame.
I don't.
I disagree with, but I think it
Yeah,
did. I think it is underrated. I think people need to tame their expectations because I think it's Osgood Perkins' best movie. Like easily.
agreed. A hundred thousand
Easily his
percent.
best movie. Over
Yeah.
Weapons. Well, oh wait, that's that's not Osgood Perkins. I'm sorry. That's the one I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Keeper. Sorry, Keeper. That's the one I was thinking of. Over
Keeper and both
Keeper.
long legs are both
Yeah.
just. I'm sorry. I don't know how you like that. If you do, that's fine.
I
Personally, not
understand you're
my
like
thing.
long legs. Keeper was a slog. Did you watch Keeper? I can't even remember. Have you seen Keeper yet or not?
I skimmed it and read the past, and that was enough for me. Or read
Yeah, I
the
watched it. It was
plot.
it I don't know. It feels a lot like Long Legs, and
Yeah.
it's just a slow burn for a payoff that's just not that interesting. Is the best way to put it. I don't
Mm.
want to get into it. We don't because you haven't seen it, but it's a movie with a slow burn that the payoff kind of sucks and it's just uninteresting. And
Yeah.
Monkey is better than that. 100%. I think Monkey is a great movie. It is in my top 5 or 3. I can't remember. I think it's 5. We'll say 5 for now, but it might be 3 of
Okay.
2025. And maybe that's something we get into on a different episode. I think it'd be interesting to compare our top 10 movies of last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but The Monkey, love that movie. I know obviously it was your kind of big one of last year. When you saw it, like that changed you that day when you saw the monkey.
It
You're like,
genuinely did, and I don't even. That's one of those things where our experience, because we, me and my co-host Connor, we were at a horror convention, and that was like kind of our get out for the night and go do something where we were at, and it was to go watch Monkey, and we watched in this really oldie, dusty, moldy theater, and we had
very
popcorn and we
it
laughed,
smelled
and
like mold.
it was just like one of those kind of like cathartic experiences where you're just kind of out and doing it, but the movie is surprisingly like so good that it's like not even the experience, like it just adds to it. I think for me, like that, the movie and its message, like especially with death, is like one of the things I love in movies. Like the feeling of you're gonna fucking die one day, so there's no reason to stop it. So like the lines about you either die, you get killed, but you know what we're gonna do tonight? We're gonna dance. Like that is shit that I love. Like that whenever I think about movies, like that's something that just always comes back to me in terms of like the feeling of death and stuff like that. So yeah, Monkey was my number two pick for most underrated. And for my number one, drum roll, we're gonna go with Together with
Oh,
Allison
fuck.
and Dave Franco.
Yeah, that's mine too.
Are you
That
serious?
was yeah, I'm dead serious. That's not even
Oh
I had this
shit!
pulled up. Yeah, no, Together was mine. T So that's hilarious. We did not I didn't tell him at this at all.
Not coordinated.
No, this was not coordinated at all, I promise you. This was Because we didn't. And the funny thing is, we really like us two off camera have never really talked that much about this movie. So that's shocking that we aligned on this. Yes, this. If you let me lead on this one for a little bit, since you did
Yeah,
the
go
other
ahead.
two, and since this was kind of the one that I thought about the most here was Together. Aside from, let's just get this out of the way. Aside from the drama between apparently this was somebody's idea that they accused the director Michael Shanks of stealing, and he's come out and said that's not true. I don't really know. I don't know, and I'm not going to comment on that. What I'm going to comment is on this movie and how well it's executed, how well it's done. This is such a solid film, such a solid standalone movie, self-contained. You get in, you get all the information you need. It does not over explain. It tells you what's going on. You get a nice little twist at the end. You get the great, and I'm talking great body horror that this movie offers. I mean, absolutely terrifying. I mean, this movie makes you feel so uncomfortable. It's such a good, simple concept, executed well. Dave Franco and Alison Brie are amazing actors in this movie. Alison Brie, especially, I think, really carries this movie. I'm not even a huge Dave Franco person, but he did a great job in this as well as kind of like the douchey asshole boyfriend. It worked great. It worked so good. I wish this movie got, and I think honestly the drama probably held it back a little bit, and that sucks because I think this should have been kind of the sleeper hit of 2025, and it really kind of wasn't. It got overshadowed, and that's something else I should probably mention is this got overshadowed by Weapons, and that's criminal.
Yeah.
Because I think this is
Yikes.
better than Weapons. I'm sorry. Well, we're losing all of our fans, by the way. This first episode, we've already shit on Scream
Hey, that's
7,
all
and now
right.
we're shitting on Weapons. This is like majority of our audience is gone. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
What's your thoughts?
I literally could not have said it any better myself, other than this. Like, when you go to watch a movie, you want to be enveloped in it. You want to feel it. This movie, you feel it's creepy enough. It's engaging. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's genuinely so uncomfortable. And like you said, the body horror, like that's something for me too with Substance that just like I'm like such a big fan of. I think we need more body horror movies. Like that stuff is all great. But like you said, yeah, you get into this movie, it sets up your plot. You have tons of great scenes, tons of creepy, weird stuff that leaves you feeling just like so unfathomably uncomfortable. But you leave this movie and you don't have anything to talk about because it's so solid. There's nothing to complain about. There's nothing to say that they could have done this better. It was just one of those movies where it felt so complete, and I did not have a single problem with this movie. But I think you're right about all the drama surrounding it and how it kind of overshadowed its release, like right before it came out, which is super super unfortunate because this movie was so good. I love the plot. I love the actors and actresses. Um, yeah, that's my number one movie. I felt like it deserved more, but it's always one of those where it kind of also feels like Monkey, where it's just like kind of the unsung hero of the horror this past year. So
Yeah, don't sleep on Together. It's definitely worth a watch. I think kind of tame your expectations a little bit and go in with kind of a clear head. I think you're gonna love this movie. I mean, for
yeah,
real, it's a wonderful movie. But yeah, let's kind of round this off here with the Lemax stuff. We're not gonna spend too much time on this because there really isn't a whole lot new this year yet. Not until the Michaels exclusives come out, and this is definitely way out of his wheelhouse. I'll tell you right now, this is definitely in my wheelhouse. I am
yeah,
a big Halloween Village collector. I've been doing it my entire life. 22 years of collecting. I've collected so many Department 56 and Spooky Town and Lemax and all that. Both Halloween and Christmas. We're not getting into Christmas. This will only be the Halloween stuff. I just wanted to kind of talk about it, mention it briefly here. We're not, like I said, this is not going to be long here because they're really, like, personally for me, there's not a lot here that really screams to me. There is one house that, maybe two. There's two houses here that I am like, two and an accessory. There's two and an accessory houses here that really excite me, and everything else here is kind of like, yeah, it's good, but it's just nothing I would use. So we're not going to go into that stuff. I had you look over it and you kind of pick out something you wanted to talk about that kind of piqued your interest the most. So let's start with you, and then I'll go into me.
Okay, yeah.
Um, what did you pick out here that kind of like you're like, oh, this looks kind of cool?
Yeah, go. Let's see if you can find. If you guys are pulling this up on your end, look for the one called "Terrifying Trash Cans." It's a little bitty set piece. It's just like I think it's two clowns with some trash
Let me.
cans.
I don't even know what he's talking about. I might have to pull this up on the screen for people because even I don't know. Terrifying. Where the hell did you find that?
Right there. Right there in the middle of the page. It's the two clown trash cans on the far left.
Oh, yes, yes. I did see this.
Yes.
Okay, yes, 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 yes. I know what he's talking about now. Yep.
But yes, these to me, and just a preface as well, it's kind of the same with, the Trick or Treat Studio stuff. I have a certain admiration for it and also a jealousy of the people that have the space for this stuff because I do not. If I did, I would be building little villages and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just in terms of, the art style, and I like the miniature stuff. But yeah, those little trash cans, the terrifying trash cans, it's just something so simple and reminds me of specifically the Goosebumps video game on PlayStation
Oh
2. Like you would just
yeah, yeah,
walk
yeah, yeah,
around,
yeah.
specifically the beginning part of the park, and those were all in Horrorland, like around the bumper car stuff. And I'm just like, that reminds me of something from my childhood. So those are really cool to me. It's just a simple little, probably $10 piece that I was just like, yeah, those are cool. Like I would buy those.
Yeah, no, those are great for any carnival theme too. If you're doing a carnival theme, those are wonderful. I wasn't even gonna mention those, but those are really cool. Um, okay, let me real quick. I'm gonna shotgun a couple accessory pieces here. Toothy Pumpkins is great. Especially love the one with the cactus on it. Those are
Yeah.
great. A lot of tooth theme stuff with like the tooth plants. This is obviously for the dentist, which we'll talk about here in a second. Love the tooth plants. I have a big fear of dentists, so big fan of the tooth stuff. I hate the dentist. Hate going to the dentist. Time Warp Clockworks is a really cool building. It's kind of like the big animated piece this year. It looks great. Um, a Cursed Cabin is another great one. That's new for this year too. Really happy about that. There was something on this. Oh yeah, Silver Slug Saloon was one thing I wanted to talk about. This is one of the kind of smaller accessory pieces. I love this. I know some of the people in the Lemax community are not very happy with this one because they think the thing on the top doesn't look like a werewolf. They think it looks like a bear, like Smokey the Bear.
It
And
does a little bit,
a
especially with the
little
hat,
bit,
you know.
a little bit,
Yeah.
but I like it. I don't know. It's so kind of fun and unique. And I don't know. I like this. I got like the big beer bottles on the top of the roof
Yeah.
there. Little drunk pumpkins sitting up here. These are great. The accessory piece is really fun too, with it's like two werewolves sharing a beer. Um, the pumpkin arch and pathway lights are awesome, are absolutely amazing. These are kind of the continuation they've been doing. You don't know this, but they've for the past couple years they've been doing accessory pieces related to yard decorations. So there's like blow molds from a couple years ago. Last year they did the inflatables. Then this year they got like these pathway lights and the pumpkin arch. Love these, absolutely love these. Great continuation of those. I'll probably get both. Probably will end up buying both of those. They also have these yard signs, which are pretty great too. Um, let's real quick. Let me get back to the first page here, and let's talk about um my favorite piece. We'll get to my favorite piece here, which is this one called Halloween at the Wilsons. Um, this is Department 50. Sorry, this is Lee Max's version of Department 56's Trick or Treat Lane. This is like their version of it, which basically what that means, it's just like traditional houses kind of decorated for Halloween. I love this. It looks amazing. Usually I'm not super into these kind of like more easy, safer houses, but I love this. It's also a porcelain piece, so it's like kind of that real nice quality, nicely detailed. It looks so great. Um, Probably my favorite piece out of all of these. I like Imelda's Herbs. That's pretty great too. That one's
Hmm.
I the thing is, a lot of these are not really my theme. Like Dr. Dreadmore's Castle is really cool. Is a really cool piece, but it's nothing that I would do anything with. It's a great, interesting. There's so much stuff going on. But I don't really do the castle theme stuff, so I just don't know where I'd put this with my stuff that I
Yeah.
have. This flying scepter is a great little piece that just I'm like I said, I'm kind of shotgunning this right now. So the flying scepter piece is really cool. The frightful fangs dentistry is my second favorite. Again, I hate going to the dentist, so this is I love this
Love
so
the
much.
little Seymours in the front. Those are cool.
Little Seymours are in the front. You got the kind of the toothy pumpkins, the dentist tools as like the things on the side there is a great touch. There's a little inside piece there working on in the Lycan root canal is great. Yeah, this is a great little piece here. Um, I will say I think they're saving a lot for Michaels. And I don't know if you know this, Colby, but so what happens is they release all this stuff online. This is all stuff for like independent retailers, and then in March, April-ish, Michaels will unveil the exclusive pieces for the year. So last year that
Okay.
was like the Monstar Arcade, the one that I got, that Monstar Arcade one.
Yep.
The Fright Night Cinema was one of them. So they usually Michaels gets the better pieces, to be honest with
Mm,
you. So I'm kind of excited for that because like right now this is kind of underwhelming. There is some good stuff here, but there's a lot of kind of like, just doesn't really scratch my itch in terms of collecting
right.
this kind of stuff. And I'm
I
not
do have.
what?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, 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 no. I'm basically done. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's a good section, but I'm more excited to see what Michaels brings to the table.
Yeah. I was gonna say I did have two more. One you can go over pretty fast if you've
Yeah.
seen it. The one that's called Halloween Countdown, and it's kind of
Yes,
got like a little
that's
countdown
down
with the
here.
werewolf.
They always do a countdown every year, and this is a really good one.
Yes, I do really like that one, just because it specifically looks like the guy is pointing at the fact that there's 28 days left, so he can't get, so he can't attack him yet. I really like that. I think it's a cool,
Yeah,
little comedic piece to me. But I love the sculpting on that. Love the little moon in the background. And then the other one that I wanted to look at was the one called Crypt City, which I didn't know if that was a new or an old one.
Crypt City. I'll find it here. Oh yes, the facade. Yes, 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 yes. This is great.
Yes, I
Yes.
love that one. That the lights on that, all the the Grim Reaper at the top. It looks
hmm
like it's underground graveyard with the guy sitting underneath the grave. Like that's good stuff. I really do like that one.
Yeah, these crypt cities, these facade pieces, they've been doing this for a couple years now. They come out with like a facade. Basically, what the facades are is it's like a mini Lemax display built into one piece, and you can take these and you can kind of take all the facades and connect them together to make a cohesive like piece on your shelf or whatever. I'll
Hmm.
show you real quick the other facade because I know there's another one on here. Might be down here. From last year. This is the other one. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. See, it's like a couple pieces built into one. So this is like a
Okay.
facade piece. So that's like
Right.
that's what this is the new one. There'll probably be another one at Michael's. They usually do two. So we'll see, but this is a great piece. I do love
Yeah.
it. I
Love
haven't got
that.
a
Love
couple
all the
graveyard
lights.
stuff. Yeah, the lights is the purple with the yellow and the green, just it works really well. So I couldn't agree more. Not something I would get, but it's cool.
Yeah.
What
But
was
yeah,
the other
that
piece?
was it for as
Oh,
far as
these two,
me
yeah.
in terms of them. Yep, the
Okay.
trash cans, the Crypt City, and the Halloween countdown. I think
Yeah,
those
I would
were
say
pretty eye-catching pieces.
I would say that this so far this year has more better accessories than last year. So I think this
Hmm.
is the accessory year. If you like your accessories, this is the time to stock up. Like the Jolly Pumpkins are hilarious. The Flying Spectre is great. The Green Reaper guy, he just unbelievably cool. The Game Over, which is you would think is not new because the Monstar Arcade came out last year, but they didn't come out with this, so this is a new piece. The
Hmm.
Game Over is pretty great. Full Moon Bar is a great little accessory piece. The Cemetery Sentinel is great too, with a little light up black light there. Creepy Delivery and Dr. Dreadmore's Creepy Creatures. I mean, yeah, all these little accessory pieces this year are unbelievable. So very happy with those. The buildings, I think are a little generic for my likings. Just nothing really sticking out to me that I'm like, ooh, I gotta have that, except for maybe Halloween at the Wilsons and the Silver Slug Saloon are probably the two so far that I like. I guarantee you that Michael's is gonna have something that's gonna be like, yeah, that's the one. I usually get one every year. Last year I ended up getting three, which was the Nightmares video, the Monster Arcade, and then at like 70% off, I went ahead and I grabbed the Area 51 Hangar Bay. The Air and Space Museum or whatever it's called, because I love that one. That's another great piece. So yeah, we'll watch, wait and see what Michaels brings out. I'm trying not to go overboard because I don't want to have too many of these and then I have to start selling them. I would be depressed. I right now I have a decent. I mean, I've been doing this for 22 years, but I don't have what I used to have, so I'm kind of starting up again, kind of fresh. So I'm excited to kind of just slowly start adding and building a nice little Halloween village.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's all I have for this. I guess we could just do kind of a quick wrap up here, and we'll get out of here.
yeah.
Um, Business convention updates. You got any kind of like convention or business updates that you can share to the five viewers that are still with us?
Yeah. So just yesterday, as of recording this now, we just dropped the first flag of Series 2, which is the Black Phone 2 flags, which are the low quantity ones. We've got one that's just the basic artwork, and there's 15 of those, and then there's another one that is the Frostbite variant, and there's only 5. These are not ones that I will be restocking. So once they are gone, whether I sell them, online or on a con or at eBay, they are completely done and retired. The same as my other designs from Series 1. But yeah, just dropped those. Really excited to have those out there. Um, hoping to get spotted by somebody. But obviously, as we both know, we are very slowly but surely growing. So it's just about keeping up the progress and moving forward. And in terms of going to conventions and vending. Still working on deciding on one that I want to go to, or maybe two this year, um, to vend at. So we'll have some more updates on those coming soon. But I do want to do a couple more flag releases and then work on some more products that are going to come out this year. But yeah, it's going pretty smooth. It's tough out there to continue going and try to tackle the new year while you're focusing on all this stuff. But we do it because we love it. That's why you
Yep.
start everything. You don't do it with the intention of making hundreds of thousands of dollars unless it follows, and then obviously that's always a good thing. But yeah, it's just it's fun to release some new stuff and work with the artists. But yeah, what about you?
I've been a little MIA. If you follow any you follow me on my social medias, probably you're kind of wondering where I am. I'm not going to get into it too much here, but I've been doing a lot of things. Moving was the big one for me, and I've now moved into a new location, and I've got a new prop area, so I can make stuff and build stuff a lot better, a lot easier than where I was before. So that's kind of been why I've been kind of on a hiatus here. Just been so busy with that. Today I went down because we are both snowed in right now. We should say we are recording this
Yes.
whenever the
Yep.
big winter snowstorm has hit. So I actually today I went down and I started kind of unpacking some of that stuff and kind of organizing a little bit here. Just trying to get my prop shop, my laboratory downstairs set up and ready to go, so I
Hmm.
can start making some stuff. I don't really want to share anything now, not until I'm starting to make it, but there are things on the way. There are fun things on the way. Lots of original pieces. No spirit remodels in the foreseeable future. Right now, we are strictly going handmade, hand scratched animatronics, masks, props, etc., etc., etc. In terms of the collectible stuff, again, I've got some very big things planned for that I'm not going to share with right now, not until we are locked in on that. But there are some huge things coming in terms of horror collectibles and particularly vintage Halloween collectibles. So if you're interested in vintage Halloween collectibles, I would say stay tuned. Stay tuned on the socials. There will be some big announcements coming with that. There will be new products added to my shop as well within the next month or so. Again, just make sure you're following me, Monster Man Collectibles, on Twitter. Oh, I'm not on Twitter. I'm sorry, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, and on YouTube. TikTok especially, that's kind of the big one that I'm on. So just, keep following those. There will be announcements on all this stuff, and I'll announce stuff on this podcast as well whenever the time comes. But yeah, just stay tuned.
Yep. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm excited to see what the new year holds and what kind of stuff we work out and all the interesting horror stuff that's gonna follow in this year. But yeah, we're closing out episode one. It's been
Episode
fun to
one.
record this. We've been planning this and pushing it off for a while now, just because it's a new year. Things are starting to ramp up and get back
Yep.
to normal after the holidays. So it's a lot to juggle, but we're gonna try our best and record some
Try and
episodes
be
and give you guys
consistent.
some
Yeah.
things to listen to, some light listening. We'll talk about some movies and horror and props and mass and whatever else the new year brings. But yeah,
Yep.
that's all I got.
That's all I got too. Thank you for listening. Like I said, real quick, do you want to show real quick on your socials and all that real quick before we head out?
Yep. Best way to follow and stay up to date is to follow my Instagram, which is Nocturnal CRT Club. I really mainly do Instagram. It's kind of the only one I have time to post on currently, but I'm trying to get more into TikTok and some other social medias. And you can also visit my website at the same exact at. So yeah, if you're interested in looking at those, go check them out. And yeah, just stay up to date. We have some really cool stuff coming out this year, and I always love hearing from people. If you have any questions about any of the stuff that we offer or working on, just make sure to send us a DM or just ask us, and we'll be able to reach out to you because we're small enough to. So yeah, that's the bright side of not having crazy amount of people to talk to or to manage with the social medias, is that we're not we're not celebrities. It's if I see a request come through, you're one of few. So yeah, just reach out to us if you have any interesting things you want us to talk about on the show. Just make sure to let us know, and we'll see if we can hit it in one of our episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll just real quick before we head out, I'll reiterate you can find me on monstermancollectibles.com, on YouTube, that's Monster Man Collectibles and Oddities, on TikTok, that's Monster Man Collectibles, Monster period man period collectibles, on eBay, it's Monster Man Collectibles and Oddities, all one word. And on Instagram, it's monster underscore man collectibles. That's going to be the main ones that you're going to see kind of the posts and anything new, up to date. If you're wanting to know more about the podcast, you can find that on my YouTube channel. It should also be on our websites, although that's not happened as of the recording of this episode yet, so I'm not going to say too much on that. But I do know that it will be on my YouTube channel if you want to, and all the rest of these episodes will be on YouTube, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Any last words?
Just want to say, if you are here, thanks for listening, and
Yep.
we're excited to go on this new kind of venture and just have something fun to do at the end of, you know, every month or every week, where we just get to sit here and yap about excuse me, some funny things and talk about movies. But yeah, thanks for listening if you're here.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. We'll see you on the next one.
See you later.